the first song on the project is called Make Believin'. God, I almost dropped that. But this is the first one. The whole project was originally gonna be a single, and it was just gonna be that song. And then I made the second song, and I was like, you know, I like the theme of where I'm going. I want to make 2 more, put it into a EP. Which, if you don't know what an EP is, it just means an album but a little bit like less songs. So typically 4 to 8 songs on an EP. And so what inspired me to make this song is, for a long time before I started making music, which was back in 2023, you know, a lot of my older raps from there are still on my Spotify. Yeah, I know they absolutely dookie but
and like I'm going like God and my money exact.
It got better, you know, you gotta make progress. And that goes with one of my favorite quotes. Practice makes progress, not perfection, because no one's perfect. And you can't expect to be perfect with a little bit of progress. I mean, a little bit of practice. You know, you gotta just keep moving along the boat. But in this song, he's talking about, you know, before I started making music, I always wanted, you know, my name on Spotify. I always wanted to click, you know, the next song button and have my song pop up. You know, I wanted to be a music artist for a while. And that dream's not going to become a reality until you do something about it. Until you stop make-believing. Until you find who you are and start doing what you want to do. With this project, I hope to, you know, even if it just inspire a couple people, that'd be personally great for me. Because I want to help people through what I do. And, you know, the early rough drafted lyrics on this, I remember I was in my basement and I didn't have my phone, but because I recorded my stuff on my, like, notes app, because I have Ooga Booga caveman handwriting. So I was like, what can I use? I found a Wally DVD disc, like, the front, it was out of the DVD, it was literally just, like, a piece of paper that had the word, like, Wally with a couple things on it, and I turned it around on the DVD disc, and I grabbed, like, a black Expo marker, and I wrote a couple things down, and that was just, like, the chorus. If I still have it in my camera roll, here's a picture. And I remember, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write that down, and then, you know, when my phone's charged, I'll take a picture of it, put it to my notes app. But yeah, I changed a lot of lyrics since then, and that again goes back with that practice makes progress, not perfect. You know, you're gonna have that initial lyrics, and it's not gonna immediately be perfect. You gotta keep revising, keep improvising, keep going on that lyric, that beat. I'll just play the beat for like 3 seconds.
Put my mask on off my secret.
I had that beat just in a folder for months, and like at least 5 months, and I was like, what do I do with this beat? Because I love this beat, I just don't know what to put it to. And I was like, you know, like there's probably so many people that have thought the same thing that I've thought, and I want to just put it out there. Alright, that's the first out of the 4 videos. See you in the next one. That was Make Believin'.